for all of those that are joining us on live radio, welcome. Hello. I am so excited to be with you. If you would like to join us on YouTube, because we are streaming live on YouTube, please do that. I would love to see you. Just go to YouTube and 1150. What else? Oh, we're also streaming live on Facebook and Twitter as well. And then we will turn everything over to the podcast world, the SoundClouds, the iTunes. Please go there and give us a 6-star rating. And yes, I know there's not a 6-star rating, but I'm shooting for the stars. So just give me the big ball of wax and yummy love stuff. Penelope, I'm looking, I feel like a Tinkerbell or something here with my I Dream a Genie going on.
I love it. I love it.
Ding, 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 ding.
I love it.
All right. So here we go. We're going to do the formal introduction, Penelope, and then we're going to I'm not going to go deep into the formal introduction, but because we want to get to know you, feel your energy, your why, and all that beautiful stuff. So here we go. Drum roll with the last name. Are you ready for this? Penelope Magalu. See? Magalanati. I see? I was practicing so well. See? Say it for us.
Maguglianiti.
See? And you say it. And your accent is way more beautiful than my butchering. See?
I'm so
it's all in love. Okay. For heaven's sakes. All right. Penelope is a transformational coach for women, speaker, and author of Women, Motherhood, and Independence. She is the creator of the Goddess Diary and the founder of the Goddess Awakening Experience. Audience, doesn't that sound juicy? Yes, it does. She works with women around the world and uses feminine energy to rewrite their brains and awaken their bodies so they can have a better relationship with self, their partners, and others, and create what they desire in life. Penelope, welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sue. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I am too. And from Greece, right?
Yes.
I'm on my way. Ding, ding, ding.
You're more than welcome.
I love it there. I really do. Okay. So yes, I did the formal bio. Let's get to know you and talk about your why. You know, that you're standing in the rink and you're showing up as a beautiful goddess and teaching thousands of women how to do the same. Let's get to know you and how you came to this arena, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. In my early, let's just say, years, teenage years and so on, I was told so many times that I didn't matter, that I wasn't equal, that I was just a woman, a girl, you know. And I was looking my mother and the way they treated her. And I was thinking while I was growing up, I will never end up like this. I won't allow this. I have dreams. I want to live my dreams. I want to live my life. Nobody's going to tell me stay in the kitchen if I really don't want to be in the kitchen, you know? I wanted to have a choice. But it came with a cost, as you know, because every step there was someone telling me, oh, you're a woman. And that made me even more determined. And then I became a mother. And then all this conditioning started happening. I wanted my career. I felt guilty for my kid, you know. I wanted to go back to work. I felt guilty because I was a mother. And I was having these two words clashing. And this is when I wrote the book. I decided that's it. I need to write something to get it out of my system. This is wrong. We need to have a balance, and then we need to have a choice, and we need to stop the guilt. And this is how I started.
The shame and the guilt, the rabbit hole, the shame and the guilt, and then cultural bias, cultural norms to what that used to be. Again, going back to what I said earlier, we're giving you permission. You do not have to be that person based on somebody else's regulation, somebody else's mindset, somebody else's fears and doubts, right?
Yeah, control.
Oh, totally. Absolutely control. And I think there is a conversation within that too for where you're raised, society, and the type. It's the grandmas and the grandpas, and we've always done it that way. And yeah, no, you don't have to. And let's change the generations moving forward.
Exactly. And now I have a daughter and I have a son,
Yes.
and we need to change this. And how we change it? By becoming the example. So I try to lead by example, me and my husband. And the boy needs to learn that the girl is equal and respect that. And the girl needs to understand that she doesn't have to ask for permission from no one to succeed and be herself. So
listen to
this
that.
is what's happening in my world.
Oh, it's so powerful. And hats off to you and your husband for creating that united front, because that's another conversation to have. Because if you don't have a united front,
yeah, exactly.
It's going to get all wonky. Okay, you know what? I wrote down some questions because this is all about reigniting, right? My big words is authentic and genuine. You say a lot that reigniting, reminding ourselves who we truly are, authentic and genuine. You heard me say those big, deep words. It's anchoring words for me. What truly is authentic and genuine for me now, not based on past, right? What is happening now? And reclaiming, recreating, reigniting, redesigning all of that. And that includes, and I use a lot of the words like intimacy on a whole new level. And that's not a sexual connotation. It is intimacy on a whole new level here. Now, when you get really clear on who you are, that intimacy is going to be right spanking on. It's going to be awesome because you know who you are and how you're showing up. So men and women, all of you, if you want more money, more time, more energy, more intimacy, emotionally, energetically, and sexually, listen to this conversation because it is intimacy on a whole new level. And, men, if you're thinking with some other brains, it is intimacy on a whole new level, because if you can have and hold a container of safety and love and compassion and respect, it goes both ways, right? I know, and Penelope, I know if I feel safe, I'm going to open up on a
you
whole
open
new
up,
level,
you
right?
become vulnerable. It's like a flower that opens up to the sun,
Metaphorically and physically speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on terrestrial radio. We got to be really
careful.
Yes,
not
very
suggesting
careful.
anything.
I know. We'll do an after-hours show with Sue where we can go really deep into the flower conversation. But it's so important, though. It really is so important. So, guys, ask yourself, do you want more energy, more money, more intimacy, more sex, more abundance in your life and its lifestyle? We're going to dive into this deep conversation with Penelope. And something keeps coming up to me about victimhood versus personal power and the why we self-sabotage. Right?
Yeah.
We've got these energies in our bodies and we're used to doing it that way. And the nervous system says, no, we're going to stay in that lane because that's what we're used to doing. And then we go into victimhood, we go into self-sabotage. Can we kind of unpack that whole thing for everybody?
Yes, of course. I love this talk. It's all about the power of the mind and the mindset. And our mind is million years old, millions, it hasn't evolved. So we live in this progressive world. Everything changed. We live relatively safe, but the mind keeps telling danger, danger, danger in everything that is outside of the comfort zone, outside of the normal that it knows up to this point. So it throws at us all these limiting thoughts and beliefs. And if we don't consciously pay attention to what the mind is telling us, we believe it. And the minute we take a step outside of the comfort zone to try something new, the mind screams, danger. So we self-sabotage to come back. And it's happening over and over and over again until we finally stop and say, okay, what's going on here? We need to start acting more consciously with more clarity. We need to be determined and ready to take the step, face the fear, and push through. That's the only way.
Crossing the bridge of initiation, whatever that looks like, walking through that contrast, right? And the audience knows and like you, I'm a big proponent of mindset and positive psychology and finding the God or goddess within us, right? And determining what that is to each of us individually. And I love what you're saying around and the audience also knows this too. The number one thing, just like you're saying, you have to have that I say awareness, conscious understanding, you have to be aware that you're even in the trigger, you're in the self-sabotage, you're in that doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that in your body? Can we give them some, we're going into the holidays, right? My body is contracted. I don't feel good in my heart. My stomach is wonky. Something's going on, so they can really dial in to check in with their body in the moment, right? And self-regulate. Can we noodle with that a bit?
Yeah, of course. So I will give you an example. What happened to me a couple of weeks ago? I was trying something different, something new. And obviously, the mind went crazy. So immediately, it was like I felt tired, exhausted. And my thought was, let me go and take my book. When I don't want to do anything, I just read the book that is fiction, not personal development, not about my work, something that I don't have to think. So I was feeling this numbness, and the mind was telling me, go sit on the couch and read your book. And it was a working day, okay? I had things to do. So I thought, okay, that's interesting, mind. What's going on here? What's happening? Let's see. And I was willing to sit with my thought and understand what's going on.
That right there.
Why I feel this tiredness, why I feel this numbness in my body right now. What's going on? What are you trying to tell me? And then I realized that I was trying a new territory in my business. I wasn't feeling very confident about it. So my mind was trying to distract me by buffering, doing something else, procrastinating, so I wouldn't go and do whatever I have to do. The trick here is, and now with the holidays and everything, with all these things that's going on, and usually towards the end of the year, we are all, oh, how was 2022? Oh, I'm disappointed. I am this, I'm that. I didn't achieve my goals. And, all these things are happening, plus everything else. So you will feel the urge to escape somewhere. And that urge might be food, might be drink, it might be shopping, spending money that you don't want to spend. It might be Netflixing for hours or scrolling through social media, and then, oh my God, 4 hours are gone. How did I manage that?
Right.
All these are distractions to avoid dealing with what is actually going on. And the best thing is to be willing to sit with correct me if it's the wrong word, with the uneasiness that you're feeling. Sit with the feeling that you don't like, and breathe that feeling in your body. Because when you try to avoid it, when you try to push it away, when you try to ignore it, it will come back with double force, with triple force.
Yes.
It will find a way to emerge one way or another.
And it will come back with guns a-flaring.
Exactly.
Yes, and it
Exactly.
will. So, audience, did you hear what we're talking about here? Having the awareness that you are in a trigger, you are contracting, you are all of a sudden exhausted. You are, and what I'm doing here is giving you body awareness, body sensitivity, audience. So you can now start with, and audience, you know this, it's a practice. Being conscious and staying in a conscious state and an aware state is a practice, just like
Yeah.
brushing the teeth, because it's really easy for us to be overhauled with the bad roommate, the drunk monkey, the nervous system saying, no, 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 I'm really comfortable there. I want to stay there. So this is you staying in that awareness, and it's big work, and it's a practice. You have to create the neural pathways to keep sustaining it. So really pay attention and be in that heightened state of awareness, like Penelope is talking about. She happened to get really exhausted and tired, and I know that to be true for myself. I get like literally, I'll be just like, boom, done. Mine, I don't read a book. I go straight in meditation, and if that
Mm.
doesn't work, it could be 20 minutes or it could be an hour. If that doesn't work, I nap. I just rest my body, take a quick 20-minute power snooze, because that's really important, just to reinvigorate and reset, right? Similar to your
Yeah.
book. It could be, shooting hoops in a basketball. It could be going for a run, which I've done as well. So audience, what we have done is we're giving you some immediate tools that you can first and foremost have that awareness that you're actually how you're showing up or not showing up, choosing to do something different, and then having a real-time real life tool to help you self-regulate, especially going into the holidays when we're around our beloved families and in-laws and all these wonderful buttons that get pushed and all that fun
Just
stuff.
breathe. Breathe deep.
And it's okay to take a time out. It is so okay to take a time out. Totally okay, right, Penelope?
Yes,
Mama
totally.
needs a time out.
And it's good to take time out. What's what you need to pay attention to is if you are escaping.
Ooh,
But
there's the difference right there.
yes,
Escaping
yeah,
versus a timeout to then.
to recharge, you know? So if instead of facing the thing that is troubling you, you are escaping, then you need to stop and deal with it. But if you feel that, okay, like you said, Sue, I am tired and I need a power nap for 20 minutes, that's totally fine. Honor your body, honor your needs, honor what you have to do so you can bring your energy levels back up. But if you say, oh, I will take this power nap for 20 minutes and that power nap becomes 3-4 hours, then that's something
Little bit of a
else
difference
going
here.
on there.
And you know what? Because I hear the audience saying, well, come on, Sue, I can't do that when I'm at work. If I've got, I'm a bank teller or, I'm in a corporate environment. And I say, well, yeah, you can. You can make the choice. You can do it at lunch. And you know what? It's a question to you and your boss. If you are a leader or if you are an employee, it is your opportunity to say, hey, I'm not showing up well. That's going to affect the bottom line. It really is. So take the time, go in the closet, go in your car, just go on a walk, get out, and you will be so much better off and better and refreshed. It's so important to take that time, and you have permission to do that. And come on, if you're in a big corporation, go to the admin and the human, what is it? Like, I haven't been in corporate America in so long.
Human
The
resources.
Yeah, human resources. Thank you. I even was in human resources. I'm like human. Thank you.
I
Go to them
know.
and ask them parameters. Ask your boss. Get to a space where you can show up, because corporations, they know they don't want you to burn out. They know.
No, they don't.
No,
And we make the decision because I used to work in corporate as well. Take a power walk. Just walk the around the building for 5 minutes and come back. Or go to prepare a coffee or something and take your time. Take 5 minutes to prepare that
walk the
coffee.
stairs, get
Walk
outside.
the
Yeah.
stairs, exactly. Exactly. Stretch, stand up and stretch. And if you cannot do it in your office because it's not a private office, go in the bathroom and stretch in the bathroom and then come back. It will change your state.
Your state of being, and that's really important. So if, again, like at the beginning of the interview, if money, time, energy, money, meaning if it's corporation, bottom line, if that's important to you, it's important that you take that time to just breathe, walk, stretch, move your body, do something. And if you're sitting here going, well, I don't have time, I don't know, that's your nervous system and the chemicals saying, nah, I'm addicted to the drama. I like being able to tell everybody I'm exhausted. I like to be able to tell everybody that blah, 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 right?
Yeah, so true.
It is.
So
and I
true.
say that with love, you guys. Like, we've all been there, and I still catch myself. It's still a practice. So you have to take your power back. That's what this conversation is about. Reigniting, reclaiming. Take your power back. And that means self-regulating, getting yourself back into a homeostasis so you can be inspired, you can create again. Your team is going to want you in your best, right? It really is.
Yeah.
We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to join Penelope. We're going to keep reigniting, reclaiming, redesigning, and talking about real-time, real life tools. And we talked about sabotage, what that looked like. So if you miss that, please go back and listen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. If you'd like to join us live, we're still going to be on YouTube, and we'll noodle and goof off there for a bit, and then we'll come back for live radio. We will be right back.
Okay, all good.
Thank you, Manny. YouTube world, Miss Penelope.
Are we good? Am I answering your questions? Okay.
Yes, we intuit, and however it goes for you too, love. You know, if there's things that pop up and go, ooh, we need to talk about that, please do. Let's bounce off each other and educate and provide tools and information. That's the biggest thing. Promoting you, yes, and also providing
I want to promote you as well. So Benny, I want all the links to put everything.
Oh, I'll get you all of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
Do I have your direct email, or is it just Claire?
If you, I will send it to you.
Okay.
You want me to write it in the chat here?
There you go.
Okay, I need to see now, so you know.
I know, that was me too with my glasses. I'm like, oh, you have prettier glasses than me. I like your glasses. I got to do something about my Tinkerbell hair. Okay, so
I love that hair.
You like that hair? Okay, audience, let me remind all of you who we are speaking to and how to get a hold of her. There goes my earpiece. Penelope, we are going to spell out the last name because people aren't going to know how to say that. But you guys can just Google her or her website, www.penelope. It's Penelope. Here comes the last name. Pen and paper. MAGOULINTI.
LIANITI.com.
Yes, I'm going to say that again. It's Penelope and then the last name. MAGOULIANITI.com.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
All of the links and everything's going to be on the website and the social media. I swear to you, it'll all be easy peasy. Easy peasy.
Y'all ready to come back?
Website, and also there was a goddess awakening experience. I want to talk about that too. In reading your bio, women, motherhood, and independence, that contrast between women and independence and not going down that shame, that rabbit hole. And I say motherhood, it's also fatherhood, because motherhood and fatherhood, it's
and we've got to come back on here soon.
Oh, thanks, Benny.
Stand by.
Welcome back. Sue here with Clarity with Sue, formerly Gratitude Cafe. It's all the same love. Same intention, reclaiming, redesigning all of our life. And today we're doing a little bit more. We're reigniting. We're talking about self-sabotage. We did at the top of the hour. Penelope has joined us. She's walking the talk, and she is joining us actually from Greece. So thank you very much, Penelope. And I so want to get back to Greece. I absolutely love it there. We talked extensively at the top of the hour about victimhood, personal power, what that looks like, breaking that down for you a little bit. If you missed that, please go back. Reminding all of you to sign up for the newsletter, claritywithsue.com. Just sign up there and you'll get all the links, just in case there's a really long name that you can't quite spell. And I say that with so much love. It's not just you, it's all of the other, there's so many other guests, and we have all different names and spellings. So remind all the audience, you should just get the newsletter, claritywithsue.com. Penelope, let's talk about coming back in and, something that really sparked me, because I wish I would have had this conversation when I was a mother. And having the conversation when I was reading about your bio, it's about women, motherhood, and independence. Not going down. And again, audience, motherhood, fatherhood, parenthood. I'm not segregating any of this. This is parenthood. Let's just call it that. Because it's really important that none of us go down that shame hole and we sustain our individuality. And being in a container, home container, corporate container, business container, entrepreneur container that provides that support, not enabling, not any of that. This is a conversation I wish I would have been or felt safe enough to have when I was raising my 3 daughters. To be able to have a container and a conversation about the mommy guilt, the shame guilt, all of that stuff. And again, audience, I say I'm going to change my language, parenthood guilt, right? Because we all go through it. Let's unpack that and have that conversation if we could, Penelope.
Yes, because we have this false impression and this false belief that once we have kids, our life is over. Many of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but many of us, we fall under this false belief system. So everything is for the kids. And we forget the marriage, and we forget
themselves. Yeah. Who am I? I didn't know.
Ourselves. Exactly. So the kid is up there, and we are at the bottom of the list. And then, of course, we are overwhelmed. Of course, we are tired. Of course, we want to rest. We want to sleep, especially at the beginning when you just had a baby. But you feel guilty. Oh, I shouldn't be sleeping. I should stay awake and clean the house when the child sleeps. Come on. I've been there. Okay. I've done it and I know.
Both. Totally.
Why you shouldn't take time to nap when your child is sleeping, when the baby is sleeping, so when he or she is awake, you can be the mother that you want to be and not be an overwhelmed, stressed out, drained mother or father. It goes both ways, as we said. So why you shouldn't do this? And why should you care if there are dishes in the sink of the kitchen,
Right.
What's more important?
Right. And having that conversation with the significant other, saying, hey, we're not going to shame or guilt each other for this. Please go ahead, Penelope.
Yeah. And I was going to say, yes, have the conversation. And, we think that the other person, our partner, can understand what's going on inside our head, can understand the struggle. We expect them to know what we think.
Oh, you can't read my mind? By my body language, I'm exhausted. Exactly. You can't read what's going on here? And
we have these rules. We have these rules. You should do this for me, and you should behave like this, and you should do this. And I feel this so much exhausted. And they are rules inside our head. And I like to call it manual. We carry this relationship manual.
Oh.
but the other person doesn't have a clue about this manual.
Yes, manual is what she's saying. A manual, like a car manual. I love your accent, by the way. Just keep talking. It's beautiful.
Sorry about my accent. It's
no,
great.
Don't you dare bring it.
So, yeah. And we have these expectations from our partners that, of course, they have no idea about them. Of course, they don't follow the rules. And we become upset. We become angry. We become closed off. We push them away. We give all of our love and attention to the kid because the kid is unconditional love. The partner is conditional love. Ourself is conditional love also. Don't forget that we are the worst judges of ourselves. And we are wondering why we feel miserable. And that's why we need to awaken, as you like to say, and as I like to say, that goddess inside, the women, they have the goddess, the feminine energy, the feminine essence. It's all about that. The men, they have that masculinity, that lion energy that needs to awaken as well. But to do that, you need to go deep, and you need to understand that you are your number one priority and no one else, not even your child.
Oh, that's so relevant and important. And speaking from experience, we've raised children. I've got 3 adult children now. And I completely lost myself in the marriage, completely lost myself to the external world. I was still functioning. And of course, because I had this great shell that I was putting on, making sure everybody knew that everything in the glass house was put together, right? When in fact it wasn't. And I also now, and the ramifications after that of putting everybody else first and then starting to reclaim myself midway in my marriage, they didn't much care for that. There was the contrast, right? And then with the contrast of that, and then no safe container to have the conversation or the knowledge and the education to be able to provide that, it just was a poopy show, and it didn't a shiitake show, and it didn't present itself a healthy environment. And I'm sharing this experience because you have all gone through it, and it's going to resonate with you. So if you are in that type of environment, it's important that you get the help and you have the conversations, because you ultimately, there's times even now, I do not like the word divorce. I don't like that I have had that. I don't like that I can't provide that family dynamic that I created for 22 years for my children. You know, I hear the word who's brought up in a broken home. I'm just like, oh, my thing, right? Because I feel so much responsibility to that. But there's nothing I can do about it. You've got to release it and let it go. Would I like to have stayed married and happy and everything as it should be and still argue, but still come together? Yes, that would be amazing. That's another passion here about reigniting, redesigning our life, and to be able to have a safe container within that, so we can provide that for our family, provide that for our teams, you know, in the work environment too, because that's really important. And home life and professional life, there's that balance, and it's really important to cultivate that. And whatever you learn in the personal life, it's going to go into the professional life, hands down, right, Penelope?
Yeah, and there is no certain formula for that balance that we all want. My balance is different than Sue's, and that the rest
That's
of
really beautiful right there, what you just said. The balance and the formula is different for everybody. So try on the different hats of the formulas to figure out what works best for you. One size doesn't fit all, right, Penelope?
Exactly. And you know this miscommunication happens when we stop pleasing people. And why should your husband accept the fact that you are going to stop pleasing him anymore? If you taught him to expect you to please him and displease yourself.
Well, you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But it starts from you treating yourself with respect, treating yourself with love, and setting boundaries for the people around you to respect you and love you and understand that you are equal to them. You don't come second, third, or last on the priority list.
Right.
And it's not easy, especially for us women. Men, you have it easier on this department.
Yeah, that is true. Totally. Yes.
For us, it's harder because we've been conditioned to please since childhood, in every culture, in every generation, in every religion. We are conditioned to please. And the more we please, we wrongly believe that we will be more loved and appreciated. But the truth is, we are becoming doormats. We have people stepping all over us, people demanding and demanding and demanding from us. And when we say enough is enough, then things start happening. Arguments start happening.
Resentments, my own resentments, and having to forgive myself and to overcome, right? It's
and anger and everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And then you going back to the safe container. If you have a partnership that's not willing to evolve, that's a whole different conversation. Ultimately that's what happened with me. Yeah. Because it just, there wasn't any forward evolution or movement anymore. And it's a shame. It really, it's a painful lesson.
It is. But what's best, Sue? Let's put it, facts here. What's best? Is it best for me to suffer and lower myself?
Both parties were suffering, right? Both. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And have this resentment building up. And remember, we energies. So when I feel resentful and I don't talk, my partner picks up the energy.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And it will be worse. Where if you're honest, then you come out and you say, listen, this thing doesn't work for me. I'm willing to work. Are you willing to work? This is what I would like from this relationship. What would you like from this relationship? Let's find a common ground here and come from openness and love, and not like,
you did this to me. It's that.
You did this to me. I did this to you. If you do this to me, I will give this to you. It's not a business transaction.
Yeah.
It's not.
And get the professional help too, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, have a mediator, get somebody in there to help you, right?
Yeah. And I like to say to my clients, everything starts with you, the way you show up in every single situation. How you treat yourself, you're going to teach others to treat you. So if you're expecting respect from your partner and you don't respect yourself, it won't happen. Everything starts with you.
Yes. Well, there's so much, and what I'm doing in my brain is my personal experience, and then also the hundreds of people that I've worked with. And you don't know what you don't know, but also even going back to, if you're in a relationship and you've been in a relationship for so long, there is a way that you have shown up in said relationship for a long time, and now you're changing the rules. This is what we're talking about. You have permission to change the rules. You absolutely do. Men, women, you absolutely do. What I'm saying here, Penelope is too, is providing that container and that safe space of non-judgment, non-resentment, and providing the tips and tools to keep your body and your nervous system as best homeostasis as you can going into this. And again, it's, hiring somebody like Penelope to be that mediator, to help you walk through, to help ask the questions, to see your blind spots, and to see your blind spots and the good spots with love and compassion, not from shame and resentment or victimhood. The victimhood will show up language. Well, you triggered me. You did this to me. And that's not it. That's not it at all. No, triggers are yours. Yeah.
And you know what? When things don't work out in a relationship, and I have a loving relationship, but we go through cycles and we go through moods. It's called life.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I'm with you, sister. Totally. Yes.
And life is 50-50, like everything else. One moment is wonderful and loving, and the next there is anger and resentment and frustration. But when that happens, when the bad is happening and is not so loving and not so cozy and not so nice, instead of concentrating on what's not working, what's wrong with this relationship, let's try and concentrate what I love about this relationship. Let's turn it around, because the mind is behind everything. Yeah. The mind is trained to go to the bad. Let's guide it back to the good and see how much goodness there is in this relationship that I am in right now. And if there is goodness and if it warms your heart, then make the effort. Make the effort to find a way. And another thing that I see a lot happening is we are comparing the relationship that we are having now. For me, I'm with my husband for 20 years now, married for over 16. So we are comparing the 16 years now with the first year of the relationship. We were a totally different person back then. I was a totally different woman back then. Why do I want to go back to that relationship? I've changed, I've evolved, and the relationship has changed and evolved. Don't try to go back to that. Try to do the now extraordinary.
Oh, that is super important. Audience, did you hear that? I felt a shift energetically with people. It's not about comparing what you were at the beginning of the relationship. And I say, oh, I just shoulda, coulda, woulda all over myself. Because you do. You shoulda, coulda, woulda all over yourself. And that's the shames and the guilts and the past saying I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I shoulda, coulda, woulda all over myself. Because you do that. So again, Penelope and we've covered a ton of landscape here, guys. We've talked about self-sabotage. We've talked about victimhood. Reigniting, owning your goddess and your lion and lioness, however that shows up in your respective lives. And it's about the shames and the guilts. We talked about parenthood, the mommy guilts, the daddy guilts. I call it the parenthood guilts. And really staying and owning that independence within yourself and not having the shames and guilt. And if you do, it's a conversation that needs to be had. And also talking about, it is so important to have a hyper awareness, that consciousness in our life, and not going into the denials, not going into the workaholic isms and the distractions. I've been there. I still do it. I still catch myself going, you didn't need to go do because I work out of the home, right? You didn't need to go do the laundry. What is it that you should be doing?
We all do.
We all do. And to be able to laugh about it and love about it. I think that's the key right there. Penelope, I love what you're doing. We've got a few more minutes. Is there something that's coming up for you that you'd like to circle back around and talk to the audience and educate the audience about?
Yeah, I would like to actually, once I started this journey of rediscovering myself, I heard this story and I would like to share it quickly with the audience if I can.
Yes.
So for us women, sorry men, our listeners out there.
It's all right.
Imagine yourself when you start this journey on earth, when you are a little girl, as a beautiful house up to the hill. All your lights are on. You are beautiful. You're bright. Every room is fantastic, decorated beautifully. You are innocent and you are brand new. And then you start listening to the world. And the world tells you that you are not enough. And then one room goes dark. The world tells you that you should please people. Another room goes dark. The world tells you that you shouldn't talk, you shouldn't be loud. Another light dims down. So when you absorb all these thoughts that the world is throwing at you, that beautiful house, it becomes dark. And it becomes unattended, and it becomes abandoned. And now what we are sharing here, what Sue teaches, what I teach, is for you to start taking out all the weeds one by one, cleaning every room and switching on that light, because you are beautiful. You are beautiful, you are unique, and you are not lacking anything. You need to start believing this. You have your own beauty and your own uniqueness. You don't need to compare yourself with anyone else, because in all the billions that they live on this planet, you are the one, the exclusive. And this is how you need to look at yourself and talk to yourself every single day. Don't talk to your wrinkles. Don't talk to, the puffiness of the face or the fat around your belly. Look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself, I am proud of you. You are beautiful. You are unique. And this should be your mantra every single day.
Put it on the mirror, you guys. Put it on the mirror. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am okay.
I'm enough. I am unique.
I am unique. We've covered a lot of work here, a lot of beautiful tips and tools. How do people get a hold of you?
The people that can go to my website, it's called penelopemagulianiti.com/let's talk if they want to book a call with me. If they want to claim their gift, I have a free gift. I have a free webinar about how to evaluate their life. Go to penelopemagulianiti.com/gift and they can claim their gift.
Yay! /gift. And for those of you that have spelling hiccups, I'm with you on all of that. And if you're driving, please don't type and drive. We'll get it all handled for you. Just go to my website, claritywithsue.com, and social media. It will all be listed there. I'll go back and make sure everything's listed for the free gift and all of that. We've got about, 4 minutes. Is there anything that you'd like to wrap up with other than that beautiful story? I love that story about the different rooms and pulling the weeds and that analogy, because it's so tactile, right? And people, it's, it's you pull the weeds and start now because spring's coming, right? It's like you got to plant the tulip bulbs now before.
And you gave me an idea now.
Yeah.
Life has seasons. The seasons. So if you find yourself in winter right now and you are suffering and you have pain and you have difficulties, don't give up. Don't give up. Just try to do your best. Try to find a solution. Don't come from a place of victimhood, as we already said, but come from a place of power. Know that everything has a solution. If you don't know how, tell yourself, I don't know how, I will figure it out. And go out there and try to find that solution. Ask for help. Go find like-minded people like this community, Sue's community, that so many like-minded people that they want to help. Because if you belong in this community, if you like this conversation that we are having today, it means that you want more. You don't want only the bad and the ugly and the victimhood. You want more. you want something different. You are working towards finding the solution. So keep asking yourself, what else I can do? What is there? And after winter comes the spring, and then the summer. And then again, it's going to be autumn, but that's okay. This is life cycles. And there is a great book, a very easy read from Jim Rohn, late Jim Rohn. And I love late Jim Rohn. And I think it's called The Four Seasons. And it explains perfectly what we are talking right now. There is a fly going around me.
But I love what you're saying, Penelope. It's so true. You've got to plant the seeds.
Yeah.
And you got to plant the seeds now. So what seeds are you planting in your garden of life and lifestyle? And, even Penelope, and I'm going to kind of go on what you were talking about. We do have these seasons in life, right? And if you choose to plant your bulbs,
yeah,
I'm going to call them the better bulbs, for lack of I'm not saying bigger, better, greater than anybody. I'm just saying higher frequency. They're better creativity. They're better financial, their abundance. If you're planting those seeds now, your next iteration through life, through this next year, through the spring and the summer and the fall, is going to be more expansive. It's going to be more different. You are creating a momentum that you desire, that you have reignited, that you have created, versus giving your power away and allowing somebody else of the external environment to create that for you, or your nervous system to stay stuck and to create that environment for you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So please, Penelope and I are talking about planting those seeds of abundance. Go ahead, Penelope.
And I was going to say, just make sure you take out the weeds.
Oh gosh, yes. Take out the weeds. Pull the weeds out, please. Yes. And
because when you plant the seeds, they're going to be there. And make sure you take them out by becoming aware of what's going on inside your mind, and keep nurturing the ground, the plant, the seeds. Because yes, oh boy, another thing came to me. If you ask someone, if I plant these apple seeds, will they become a tree? The answer is yes, if you choose to make it a tree, to grow to a tree. Some seeds, they might choose to stay seeds. In other words, they do nothing. Other seeds, they are going to choose to grow and become a strong apple tree. What are you choosing?
What are you choosing? I love that. Oh, we ran out of time. You guys, I love you. I'll see you next week. Tomorrow or next week, we are talking about abandonment and holding that joy. So join us next week. And until then, Penelope, big love to you. Thank you so much to the audience. Oh, much love to you and the family. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And until then, each of you are a gift. Get out there and share yourself with the world.